There's no better time to find these tremendous Mazda savings than right now at Team Mazda. Get 0% financing on any new Mazda CX-5, Mazda CX-30, Mazda CX-50, or the Mazda CX-90. Find out just how much you can save at Team Mazda on Airline.
Almost 7:03. Welcome to it. What are you doing
on a Monday? Just playing the keys, trying to jazz up the intro a little bit.
I didn't weed eat and I didn't edge, but I did mow and blow yesterday, and I had to stop halfway through the yard and go in and lay down for a second on the floor.
You could feel the humidity. It was thick.
That's the trade.
I thought I hydrated enough. You don't hydrate enough ever.
Preload. Yeah, they say all the time. Do you wear one of the? Yeah, you wear one of the
I actually did yesterday, and it's still, it
helps a little bit.
You got to start the day before.
Oh, absolutely.
Hydrating. Yeah.
And that's what Cap has talked about. And you were saying it earlier as well, Steve. That over the last number of days, it's like, when am I going to be able to? When am I going to? I forced it. I was telling Liz this. I forced it on Thursday. I rutted up a little bit of the yard, but I had to get it done.
Yeah.
It just had to.
Yeah.
But now it looks like we may actually have an opportunity. Just don't pass out.
Yes, the heat. And even if you hydrate, the heat, it can overcome you. The heat index got up to, I think, 107 in Baton Rouge yesterday. So it was up there, actual high 95. So there's plenty of heat. That is going to be the trade-off in the days ahead. Back to the hot weather. Now this morning, starting out largely dry. Had a couple of showers along the coast, but that's about it on our First Alert Radar Network. Mainly sunny skies in our Sky 9 view, brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake as we look over downtown Baton Rouge. And there you see how warm it is to start out. Kind of clues you in. It's going to be a hot day. 79 Baton Rouge, Gonzales 78, Hammond checking in at 76. So I've got us into the 90s probably before lunchtime today, going 92 at noon, a high of 96. And your afternoon rain chances only running about 30%, not too far off of what we saw yesterday. Let's give you a look at Futurecast, what it does, and through the morning hours, largely keeps a few showers and storms in our coastal parishes. And then we see what looks to be a little bit of a sea breeze developing. So here we are at 3 o'clock, and just a few showers and storms bubbling up along that sea breeze as it advances northward. That's pretty typical of the summer months. Here we are at 5 o'clock, the sea breeze kind of setting up along the I-10, I-12 corridor, again with a few showers and storms. We'll pause here at 7 o'clock, still have a couple popping, and then as we get to sunset and beyond, most of whatever develops should wind on down. Here's why we're going to be headed into a drier and hotter pattern this week. High pressure this morning is centered nearby, just south of us in the northern Gulf of Mexico, and we'll be under the influence of that dome of high pressure through at least the mid part of the week. In fact, it will be just about overhead here by Wednesday. Right on into the end of the week, we really have two high pressure centers over the Atlantic and the one over the southern U.S. kind of bridging together. The one thing we'll be tracking, though, is also a little bit of a tropical disturbance. Here it is showing up in that forecast. This is Friday from near Cuba into the Bahamas. So let's get you out to that this morning. Not much showing up in the traditional satellite view right now. A few clouds, but can you see the little bit of twisting? It's a large wave. It's just embedded in a lot of dry air at the current time. But we think as it gets farther west and northwest, it'll have conditions become a little more favorable in the atmosphere where things start to moisten up. So with that, development odds listed at 50%. So right now, the current thinking is roughly around the end of the week, as I showed you Friday, it's probably somewhere in this general area of the Bahamas. And then we kind of wait to see what happens, where it goes from there. Still a lot of uncertainty on the track and whether it even develops. Models not showing a lot of agreement. Our level of concern certainly low at this point. We'll keep you updated. What we can tell you, though, is a 20 to 30% rain chance through the week. It's going to be hot, highs in the mid to upper 90s. The rain chances rebound a little bit by the weekend, 40 to 50%. But overall, plenty of heat ahead, Johnny.
It looks like it. Thank you, Steve Caparata. Good morning, everybody. Well, I told the early morning crew it gets backed up on I-12 a little bit past O'Neill because of all these ramps. You get the O'Neill Lane on-ramp right here. Then you have a Millerville Road on-ramp and another Millerville Road on-ramp. So there's three right there in a row. And then right past that, Sherwood Forest on-ramp. So you have a little bit of traffic congestion that always happens right there between O'Neill and Sherwood. And that's what we're seeing a little of that this morning. There's the Millerville Road camera kind of turning it around a little bit. Nope. All right. And that slow traffic starts right past O'Neill as you make your way on the interstate. There's one of those ramps, the second of the two Millerville on-ramps. And then that first one is the Cloverleaf that goes underneath the overpass right there. Then here at the 1012 merge, looking pretty good this morning in about 5 minutes from the merge to downtown. 7:07, we do it every single morning, and we call it 9 News Now. And Matt and Liz will be back with some headlines you might have missed on the early show. It was 9 News this morning from 4:30 till 7. Liz and Matt next after a short break. Stay with us.
Coming up on 7:09 your time right now, so let's get you going on a Monday morning. Actually, Liz, we had everything going this Monday morning, we figured we knew the headlines, and then breaking news, a deadly shooting in Baton Rouge right around midnight.
First responders actually confirmed where this happened,
Yeah.
so let's show you a map of kind of where we're told this has happened. South of Harrells Ferry Road, not far from South Sherwood Forest Boulevard here. That's it, yes. North Harrells Ferry Road, near South Sherwood Forest Boulevard. Now, we're told now from EMS 2 people were shot on North Harrells Ferry. Crews getting that call just after midnight. Now, both BRPD and EMS confirms one of those people died. We're told the second person in the hospital right now.
So, as investigators kind of work through the very beginning stages of this, if you have anything that can help them out, they could sure use that. Make that phone call to Crime Stoppers at 344-STOP. You know the number pretty well. No one's ever going to know who you are. They don't want to know who you are. Completely anonymous. Make that phone call. See if you can help them out. Waking up in a Mississippi jail this morning. That is Derek Hollins Jr. Liz, we've been talking about this case for the last number of days. Baton Rouge tie, a sad Baton Rouge tie.
Yeah, we're told that Derek Hollins Jr., one of 3 people accused in the shooting death of a former Southern University student, Stephen Harris IV. Now, we're told that Derek Hollins Jr. is actually now in custody in Woodville, Mississippi here. But as far as charges, will he face charges in both states here? We're told that right now facing a murder charge there in Mississippi. So we'll see what happens next.
Tough headline over the week. You know, one of the great things about Louisiana, it's sportsman's paradise, right? You know, you get out there, you get to enjoy everything that Louisiana has to offer. That includes getting out on the waterways, get a boat, friends with boats, you know, the ability to get out there and do that. But there's risk involved sometimes with boating. And to see this news out of Livingston Parish, a deadly boating accident, 2 boats involved, Liz, 2 people killed.
And we're told, Matt, that's 13 people involved total.
It's
this
incredible.
is the driver of a pontoon boat, and then a woman, a passenger, in one of the other Sea Fox boats here. We're told are the victims. We're not told the identities just yet. The coroner's still working to assess the scene here, along with investigators looking into the incident. You're getting a look at the scene there on Sunday. We're told this happened just right around midnight Sunday there on the Tickfall River. Now, LDWF using this situation, this investigation, while they look further into this, as a reminder to all boaters here. You think about the timing, you think about the responsibility it takes to be out on the water. Life jackets. No one on either boat was wearing a life jacket at the time. Yeah, and we're told that the 13 people on both sides, well, they were taken to the hospital. They are going to be okay. But Matt, when you talk about this, you know the risks involved when you get out on a boat, but especially making sure that life jackets are there, the right size, that fit everyone on the boat, but making sure that people actually wear them.
Right, and now you have lives changed forever, 2 lives ended. So
Yeah.
The exact cause of the crash, that's still being investigated. Let's get you over from one body of water to another. You know where you are here, Lafourche Parish, Bayou Lafourche? An oil spill, Liz, and they've got literally better than 100 people working this thing and dozens of boats. Look at the booms out here. trying to contain that oil leak.
This is Lafourche Parish there, where authorities say they're still trying to get a handle on exactly how much oil was spilled there from the Crescent Midstream facility there in Lafourche Bayou. This is there in Raceland. Right now, that waterway, it's closed off to boaters as they try to assess the investigation into what caused this spill here. But they say they're monitoring the air quality, no issues there. They say that the water is not impacted, but anyone who lives around that area, they're asking you to just take some extra precaution, maybe preserve and conserve some of that water as they work to get all of that cleaned up. We'll let you know as we get updates from this investigation too.
You know, well, look, you live in Louisiana, you know, oil, gas, that kind of a thing. We don't want to be in the water, that kind of a deal. But securing our oil and gas industry as we move forward here when it comes to trying to do things cleaner, but saving the jobs that we have. Liz, Louisiana just got a big ton of money to help secure that future.
Fuel is actually the name of that very project there. A $120 million grant awarded by the National Science Foundation. Now that may not sound like news to you, but today we're actually talking with the new face, the newly named director, Mike Mazzola, of the fuel program at LSU. They're working with a number of different land-grant universities all across Louisiana and the corridor, the southern region, to figure out how to use efficient energy, how to make sure that we're not taking these oil and gas jobs and not just replacing them with this, but to incorporate that to make sure we still have an industry for clean energy.
You know, you've got such an infrastructure already built up here. How do you maintain that and kind of weatherproof it, if you will, future-proof it? And so it's been interesting to see this come into Louisiana and how this moves forward. Job-proofing this, future-proofing it. It's going to be really interesting to see where we go from here.
So a newly named leader there, a newly named leader at EBR Schools, right? We've got Lamont Cole, the superintendent, and deputy superintendent, Adam Smith. They're going to be today's guest speaker at the Baton Rouge Press Club. They're going to talk there at Drusilla Place Catering right around 12:15. You can attend, but remember, only members of the media will be allowed to ask questions.
I imagine that was, look, those are always those are fairly well attended. You've got the new super there, the deputy and school board president. That one is going to be, you got some questions for the new superintendent?
I am so comfortable with what's going on right now in the school board.
Okay.
I'm not even a parent, but I've
with
talked
a
to a lot
superintendent?
of parents.
Yeah. Okay, because it was sideways for a while there, grabbing all the kinds of wrong attention. But now it looks like they kind of got it going.
Pushing through. Can you believe? Kids start school next week. It's nice to know that there's a leader in the helm.
For his kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some start this week.
Coming around the corner before we know it. Are they ready? Are you ready?
No, they're not ready. Am I ready? Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, we're getting through it together. We'll see if they're ready for those alarm clocks. We'll see in a few.
You could be driving a Honda.
Now's the best time to get an award-winning Honda during the Honda Summer Event at Team Honda. Find top performance and unbeatable reliability with our outstanding selection of new Hondas. Save on your new Honda today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.